Anything said and can will be used against you in the court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer and have the present with you while you're being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you for any questionings if you wish. All right. You good, dude?
The road to justice can be long. It has been 5 years since Christine Melton and Diane Ruiz were brutally murdered in Cape Coral. Their killer, Wade Wilson, has been sitting on death row since his conviction last August. Today was a new chapter in his appeals process. The Night Beat's Maddie Herron joins us now live in studio.
Maddie, you learned prison is not keeping Wilson out of trouble.
So as you can see, what I have for us today is a little bit of Wade Wilson talk. Now, everybody's been talking about the Wade Wilson wives and the Wade Wilson prison, but we haven't really heard any news or anything on his appeal. So that's where we're at today. And I'm going to pull up a new document and just talk a little bit about Wade Wilson.
Exactly right. Since Wade Wilson joined Florida's death row roster back in August, he has received at least 10 violations. You can see them here. And
Oh, it looks like they're talking about violations. So I did hear from little birdie that he was on a special kind of lockdown until later on in 2025. So it looks like 09/19/2024 he had mail violations. 9/19/2024 tablet regulation violation. 10/25/2024 was disobeying orders, disobeying regulations on 10/31, as well as tablet tampering. I did remember hearing a phone call between him and Jesse that was kind of a roundabout way of seeing if there was a way to tamper with the tablet. Disobeying orders on 11/7, right before Thanksgiving, disrespecting officials. 12/9/2024, misuse of state property. Oh, Wade.
that is according to the Florida Department of Corrections. Let's take a look at some of these. There are several reports of disobeying regulations and disobeying order. You see here October 25th, 2024. Just a few weeks later, again, disobeying order 1107. That's November 7th of 2024. And a few weeks later, there was a charge for not a charge, but a violation for unauthorized use of drugs. And then most recently here on December 9th of 2024, the misuse of state property. Now, while it seems Wilson has kept busy so far, so have his attorneys trying to appeal his case. Today, they were in court for a status conference to gear up for Wilson's appeal.
This will be the state of Florida versus Wade Wilson.
All of the transcripts that have been requested have now been filed.
So all the transcripts have been done and submitted to the Supreme Court. That's correct?
I think they've been filed, Your Honors.
Interesting looking bow. It's an interesting looking bow. Don't you think?
So the next step is for the circuit court clerk to compile a record on appeal based on those transcripts.
All right.
With transcripts from Wilson's June 2024 trial successfully filed, the circuit court clerk in charge of that next step told me that he should have that record wrapped up by the end of the day tomorrow. And if that's the case, the ball will be rolling even faster in Wilson's automatic appeal process. Back to you.
Okay. Well, I guess there's that an automatic appeal process, and then that's where they're at in that. Wade Wilson was in court Monday, so he was actually in court Monday, as his first automatic appeal hearing took place in Fort Myers. Monday's hearing was another step in the automatic appeals process for the man convicted of killing Christine Melton and Diane Ruiz, both of Cape Coral. During Monday's court, Michael Uferman, appellate counsel for Wilson, said that all of the transcripts that have been requested have now been filed. Michael Uferman, is that the one that the GoFundMe, the $90,000 paid for? The next step is for the circuit court clerk to compile a record of appeal based on those transcripts, which is what we heard, with transcripts filed. Okay, here we go. What is this video?
The man convicted and sentenced to death for killing Christine Melton and Diane Ruiz in 2019 is getting his first of many appeals to the death sentence he got last year. Wade Wilson will not be in court as his first automatic appeal hearing takes place in a little over an hour. Wink News reporter Maddie Herron joins us live.
That's what I thought. I didn't think he was actually physically in the courtroom.
From the courthouse in Fort Myers. Maddie, are you getting any idea how hard Wilson and his team want to fight to eliminate this death sentence?
Yeah, not quite yet, but today is another part of his automatic appeals process. There were also several transcripts filed according to the Lee County Clerk of Courts, and what we can assume is preparation for today's court. But first, I want to bring you back to August of 2024, and that is when Wade Wilson was sentenced to death for the murder of these two women, Christine Melton and Diane Ruiz. It was an emotional, months-long trial with family of the two women breaking down about their loved ones. According to the Florida Department of Corrections, since September of 2024, there have been a number of disciplinary reports documenting Wilson's behavior, including
Look at that face. You have thousands and thousands of women writing to this man. Look at that face.
unauthorized use of drugs and disobeying regulations. Now, like you said, Amanda, that hearing is expected to happen in just a little bit over an hour. And as for what happens during it, we will be inside the courtroom behind me to let you know any updates. Live in the Lee County Courthouse, Maddie Herron, Wink News.
Wink News. Wink News. Maddie. Thank you very much, Maddie Herron of Wink News. Push that to the side. Usually make this bigger. Let's see what this is. This was filed on 12/5, so that was a couple of weeks before Christmas. 16th of September 2024, issued the order regarding the timeframes for the appellate court record and hearing transcripts to be filed. All designated hearing transcripts had to be filed within 80 days from the filing of the notice of appeal with the court, and the record is to be compiled within 20 days after the filing of the transcripts. As the notice of appeal was filed with this honorable court on September 16, 2024, the transcripts had to be filed with the clerk of circuit court by December 5th. The parties indicated to the court that all invoices for transcription have been paid and that many transcripts have been received already. However, the transcription is not yet complete. The trial took place over 16 days. Out of those 16, 9 days have been transcribed. The representatives for the court reporters indicated that the transcription is expected to be completed by the deadline of December the 4th. Okay. The court has reserved 30 minutes for the hearing. Oh, it wasn't a very long hearing. The sole issue at this hearing is the status of the preparation of the transcripts, the record on appeal. Counsel for either party should file additional directions or designations immediately if counsel wish for additional transcripts or documents added to the record on appeal. As there will be no testimony taken at the status conference hearing, defendant's presence is not needed. Accordingly, defendant will not be transported from the Florida Department of Corrections to the Lee County Justice Center for the status conference hearing. This cause comes before the trial court on order of the Florida Supreme Court issued September 16, 2024, requiring that the trial court facilitate the timely filing of all transcripts and transmittal of the record on appeal. By Florida Supreme Court ordered, dated December 17, 2024, Naples court reporting was granted an extension of time through January the 6th, 2024, within which to file all outstanding transcripts. Based upon a current review of the trial court record and input offered by the participants at the state conference held January 6, 2025, including defendants' appellate counsel, the trial court can confirm that all of the outstanding transcripts have been filed. Thank you so much for hanging out with Heo.